Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome to Simply Magic 2, episode 41. As you can see behind me here, we have little golem buddies are doing some work. Yep, that's right, we are putting them to work today. Right now, we have kind of a almost temporary setup. If you look down here, it's currently not doing anything. I did figure out what the issue was with my mana generation with the cakes. It turns out that it will only turn them into cake if they are facing north. The pumpkins are facing north. Which is kind of weird, especially because there's no faces on them. But that's apparently a thing. As it turns out, naturally grown ones naturally face north. So I guess that works. Yeah, I just had to let it sit. Cakes are coming in. We've got our Kekamuras, or turn that into mana. And we have a mess of redstone down here. I did take out the logic for the teleposer down here, because as it turns out, I don't actually need it. In fact, I'd rather not use it because that way up top there can start making cake, and I'm not going to mess it up by sending stuff up there halfway through, and then there'll end up being pumpkins down here, and it just wouldn't work. Yeah, so don't need to wire him up. He's fine as is. This mess right here is basically a red string comparator. He is reading the level of the mana up there, and as you can see, he's currently now outputting a signal. This little loop here is going to say, if you are less than 4, then don't send a signal. That goes into a nice little NOT gate here, just a torch, which runs over here, walking into fake blocks, runs up top here, and we are over here turning off our redstone repeater. So that is now a smart system. It won't keep using mana if I don't have any. So basically, it's done. Yeah, that part's done. Now, the part that isn't done yet is up here. These guys here, they are filling up. We've got lots of cinnabar, probably quite a lot of iron, I bet. Yeah, about half a stack of iron. Not even counting what's on me from just digging stuff around. And we're getting a good number of pretty much everything else. Why is there oh, because I threw a diamond in there, that's why. Yeah, so that's all working, but I don't have any Essentia going through the system. So that is the plan for today. There are a couple ways we can go about this. I know that I do want to use the Alchemium Thaumium Smeltery. But my question is, do I want to use that and simply melt down iron, use that, smelt down the iron ingots, get my metallum, and then I could then centrifuge that to get the, what am I looking for? Basically, I could centrifuge that in order to get the, the Ordo and Terra, I believe, is what I can get out of that. In that case, I wouldn't actually need to do anything with stone at all. I could simply just have the iron. I might do that, but I haven't really decided yet. In the meantime, let's at least go ahead and get started. We need the Alchemium Essentia Smeltery, which needs an Alchemium Chemical Construct. So let's pop you in here. And how many of you can I actually make? I can make 4 of you. So I'm going to actually make all that, because I don't really know how many I need. The Essentia Smeltery itself needs an Essentia Smeltery, which I probably don't have on me. Do I have materials to make that? Iron, brass, cobble, and a furnace. I don't have any cobble. I have iron and I have brass. Do I need that brass in what form? Plate form. Okay, we can do that. Let's make ourselves some plates. Iron, let's turn this into some cobblestone the highly technical way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That gets me a furnace. 6, 7, 8. And we also needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 5. 5. Cool. Now let's go ahead and we need you and you. I also need a crucible, and that is an actual crucible, not a cauldron. I don't have any Salus Mundus on me. And we are back. Looks like we also have a couple friends down there, a couple slimes. Let's go ahead. We made our Salus Mundus, and we need a cauldron. So I did not want to split that. There we go. Cauldron, easy enough. Cool. Let's place you in world and add a little bit of magic. Cool. That is gonna, there we go. And steal you, and let's pop you in. So, Essentia Smeltery, we should have, oh, didn't make a furnace yet. Really? I can't shift click into here, fine. There you go. We need our furnace. And finally, the smeltery. Cool, that is a regular vanilla one. Now, here's a question, the Alchemium Thaumium Smeltery, that is a regular smeltery with thaumium, not a thaumium smeltery with alchemium. Yeah, cool. Alchemium Essentia Smeltery, Can we click you? No, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So that gets us 4, but we need a 5th actually. And alchemy plates. Do I have you on me? I do. We have our Alchemium Essentia Smeltery. While we're at it, toss you in there, and I'm not sure if there's anything worth scanning in. Scanning is kind of weird in the past few versions of Thaumcraft here. They sometimes have helped, sometimes haven't. Nothing new can be learned. If I toss you, you may not actually count as a chest. There we go. Didn't really bother placing it down because I'm just going to be picking it up again. Okay, so that is our regular. We need the Alchemium Thaumium Smeltery, though, which needs some Thaumium. I need 5 plates. Let me go see if I have that. I might. Okay, I think we have everything we need. Let's go ahead, shift-click you in, and get our Alchemium Thaumium Smeltery. Yay, shiny. We're also going to scan you, just because scanning is how you get epiphanies and that sort of thing. Shift-click. No epiphany, but whatever, still helps. Lots of items on that. So, I may end up making one. I'll probably, actually, not may, I probably will. Replace the one down there with this. As you recall, I do have this whole automation set up here that I haven't used yet. It's sitting here looking very pretty, but I haven't used it. Main reason for that is I haven't figured out how to smelt things efficiently. So we're going to kind of do a little bit of testing using this. Excuse me, I didn't ask for you to attack me. Go away. You gonna die? Ha. Alrighty, so let's run downstairs here. I do have to kind of be careful at the moment for my ring magnetization, because since he does just drop it on the ground there, and then he goes and takes it wherever it goes, I can accidentally pick stuff up, which is really annoying because it fills my inventory pretty quickly. Anyway, let's head down here. Cakes are working nicely. And I don't really know where I want this. Right here. I changed my mind. Don't want it there. Want it over here. The reason for that is Metallum's over here. Yep, that's pretty much the only reason. Let's go ahead, place you back down. Probably want you... You know, I'll put it against the wall for now. I do want behind it, in order to put the flux filter on here, because I don't really want flux to build up this area. Arcane Alembic, you can go right on top. Right on top, there we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's see. So we need a jar, obviously. I don't really know how we want to do this. If I do just a jar here and place a pipe, that should be good. Let's toss a little bit of iron in here just to, you know, let's toss all of it in. I should have some, I've got coal all around me. I was gonna say I should have some coal upstairs, but I've got some right here. Perfect. I'm kind of curious as to how fast this actually is. Doesn't seem too fast for actually melting it down, but it does seem to fill this quite quickly. Maybe? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's actually quite a bit faster. Awesome, cool. That's good. That's working. Next up, we want piping to go a couple different places. One is we want you to go over here. That's a lot of flux. That's probably not a good thing. Where is my hand vendor? How are we doing? More flux than I'd be happy with. So definitely I'm gonna want to put that flux filter on here. Let's just take you out. Does that help? 29, 28, 27, okay. So it's just the melting down that will actually produce it. The filtering here doesn't seem to. Or the boiling it down, I guess. So, okay. Pipes. Pipes can come down here. We are gonna do this just kind of like this. You're attaching there. Cool. Oh, interesting. That can go directly like that. That's all fine. You're gonna fill up this. That one up top there is labeled, so we'll draw this out instead. And we'll more than likely start sending... Oh wait, because they're drawing Ordo right now. So, Metallum, you're pretty much all set. Next up, Ordo. If I take my tube and put you maybe here, I think that'll work. let's grab our centrifuge. I decided I do want to go with the centrifuge idea. No real reason why. So that is getting Terra right now. I forgot to build a buffer. What does it take to build a buffer? Buffer. We need valves and files. I don't have that on me, but I can go grab that. Okie dokie. Crafted up our little buffer there. Let's go ahead and attach this. This build is actually, I think, almost done. I still need to work on a couple more infrastructure type things, namely, there's no smelting going on down here. But I think, for the most part, the alchemy is pretty much done. So he's going to build up with that. What I want then is a void jar here, and I should have labeled him. In fact, no, we're just going to kind of hope for the best. If I place you there, you're getting Ordo. Cool. Not what I wanted. Ordo can go over on this side. You go Ordo. Okay, so that's going to work with Ordo there, and you are now filled with Terra, or you will be shortly. I'm actually going to wait until it has all 8 with Terra, just because I don't want another Ordo jar. Awesome, cool. Place you here. You have Terra, Ordo. So Terra, I'm pretty much just going to let this thing void it as it comes. Ordo is going to be sent over here, which, you know, we can do that right now. I believe that the suction on the jars is 120 something. It may only be 64. If so, then yep, let's fall into, there we go. May only be 64, in which case we will maybe need some sort of buffer system here, but I think it'll work. And there. So, question is, are you draining? You are not draining. Kind of what I figured. If I place something like, where is my resonator? You are probably in my tool container here. Nope. Here we go. Let's see if that's the wrong button. Tools. Let's grab a resonator. Sent your resonator here. What are you actually drawing here? 46 Ordo, 45, and you'll notice as we get closer over here that this guy with his suction of 32 is going to be what's overpowering it. So, oh, this is right at the thing, isn't it? You're at 21. That is pretty much as close as I can get without it working. You know, I can work with that. Cool, and I think that works. So you now are completely drained. That's going to be an issue, actually. Break you. Because I do not want you to get Terra. Because once that gets untyped, then that's going to pretty much jam up the whole thing. Here. You know what? That is labeled up there. I would kind of like to have a bit more buffer space than this, but if I just have a pipe connecting directly, then all my Terra should go here, because that's what it gets. And you, any Ordo that you get will be just directly filling up this jar. So I think with that, that should be working. So let's go ahead and run up here. And he is running around, because we are getting lots of stuff that's working. You need Ordo. We probably still don't actually have enough Ordo. That is going to be an issue, I think. I don't know if we're going to be able to make Ordo fast enough for this whole system. But it is working. We've been doing some tweaking. Right now it's currently not connected, but as you can see here, I currently have 4 Essentia centrifuges. I think that works. I did figure out if I put a warded jar with a filter on top of it, basically it will try, it on its own is going to try to pull anything because you are not labeled. But with the filter up top there for Ordo, then he will only pull Ordo. Up top, as it is labeled, he'll be able to pull from this one. So that does work. Only problem is, I can't figure out how I want to do the Metallum side. I can't just place this here, because if you're here, then, well, basically with suctions, this doesn't work. Because these guys here, if I take a look at this, these have 128 untyped suction. When they're not running, when they are currently running and there is something in them, then they drop to 64. Which sounds all well and good. It's able to pull from a jar. Regular unlabeled jar is 32 and labeled is 64. But 64 from over there drops it to like 40 something over here. In fact, if I click here, yeah, so it's at 50 here on this side of this directional tube. I'm kind of thinking I might have to kind of do like a buffer chain type system where I'll have a couple buffers in here. Let me play around with that. I think I've got an idea that might work. We have a short intermission from Thaumcraft here. Kind of off camera between scenes, what I've been doing is been up here in my astral sorcery area, and I've been growing crystals. Now, I'd heard, and I haven't actually heard if it's in this version or maybe it's a later version, but I heard you are not supposed to be iron. Why are you iron? If you grow them on top of star metal ore, apparently there is a chance that you can get like bonus shards. Interesting. Why did it turn those? These were all star metal. It looks like it turned them back into iron, which is a little interesting. Means I need to place my collector crystal here again. Okay, that's kind of a cool development there. Didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, we're going to be kind of just off camera here. Every once in a while, I'll be up here just switching over these, refilling all this stuff. I've got lots of liquid starlight, and we're going to just keep growing stuff. I'm hoping that this will have a chance of getting more than one, because if that is the case, then there is the ability to actually get multiple and never have to dig these things up again. Because you can, of course, take your celestial crystal, toss it back in here with another star metal dust, and it will do that same little cluster there. So yeah, we're gonna be doing this, and I'll let you know if we get any interesting developments. Well, it's been a little while. As you can see here, everything's back to star metal. What I had to do here actually is I made 2 of these collector crystals. These are pretty much max. I think one's 97, one's 94% purity, and they're 100% cutting and 100% size. I have those all focused on keeping those guys star metal. This guy here is then concentrating on focusing these to make them grow. Of the 10 I planted, I have 19. Or I have 9. 13. And it appears that it seems to kind of help. Oh, purity 100%. There's a purity 99. I think I saw another 90 something in here. So it seems to help for purity, as well as the fact that I did get a positive return. 30% it looks like. I'm assuming it's probably a 25%, but yeah, I'll take that, yeah. So one last little note before we get back to work here is I've added in 2 chests here. I've got my in progress crystals and then my actually care about crystals. It's currently marked as done, but whatever. So what my plan is anything that has purity less than 75 is going to go in this bin, including this guy here, which is nice at size 900, but he's only purity 74. Oh, actually, you come with me. Yeah, so these ones here are going to get re-rolled. I'm just going to toss them back over there with some more stardust, whereas the ones that are over 75 are going to go in this chest. So this guy here has 100, 85, 77, 79, and so on. The ones I'm currently holding are also high ones as well. And plan is I'm going to just keep growing these ones. Once the size is maxed out and the cutting is maxed out, then they will be ready for attunement or for turning into collector crystals or whatever it is. But yes, this is what the plan is going to be. So let me grab more of the starlight here, and I can get these guys going, and then we can get back to work. Okay, so here's the plan. I want that jar up there to fill up with metallum first. Before anything else, you get full of metallum. After you, a little backup storage gets filled. So that's that plan. Next, after those are both filled, these guys here can start processing it into ordo. I'm going to have an extra jar here, so let's go ahead and place him down. And I want you to be a water jar, because I don't want to avoid any of the metallum. I'd rather have it just build up in here and then waste some charcoal. So if I break this filter pipe, and I can go along and say I want a buffer here. So buffer. What it's going to do is it's going to separate his suction from his suction. That way, if I put then a restricted pipe, which I of course don't have on me, if I put a restricted pipe here, really I don't have one anywhere? I thought I had one in here. I had one on me, but I used it for the buffer. Yeah, so I'll put a restricted pipe here, which means everything on this side will have higher suction, but not pull away from these guys. So they'll get filled first, then these guys will be ready. So let me go grab that pipe. Alrighty, so got my little pipe here, or tube rather. Restricted here is fine. I think that'll work. So that means, you know, he's not going to get filled either way. But let's try this. Iron goes in, toss a coal in, and let's see what happens. So this is not going to fill up, which is good. You're getting socked up. Anything going over here? Let's check on this guy. So I noticed that my centrifuges are going, which is not ideal. You have 69, you are not increasing, so... Even with the restricted pipe here, it's not going here. Not ideal, although I'd imagine if this thing fills up, that this guy up here should start filling. Let's check it again. You are still at 69. Let's try something like this. Centritube, right there. So what that should do is then this guy, yeah, see he's now dropping. So I think that'll work. I guess what I could have done is just not had anything here and had this be two separate lines. Which is kind of what I'm doing anyway. Okay, well that seems to be working. Let's go ahead, throw a water jar right here underneath this pipe. Because I do want some backup storage down here. This guy here is filling with ordo, so he's happy. These are processing. Now what I want to find out is, once this is full, if this will fill with metallum. Let's see, where are we? You are still full. So you're just melting down. Okay, well I'll let this process for a bit. Okay, so that finished processing. You can see here we have a little bit of extra metallum over here. You haven't started to fill yet, but these guys all shut off. So that basically then routed all the rest of the metallum over here. I think that works. I think I don't actually need this, and I could have just dropped this and had it go out the two sides, but that's fine. Ordo's full. I'm thinking this is going to work. So let's throw another stack of iron in here, and I'm going to let this process, and we'll be back once that's done. So yeah, you're still working. I think the buffer here. Yeah, so as long as there's not completely full, he's going to keep processing until he runs out of space. So that's fine. The rest of these are all full. Yeah, all this process. Alrighty, so this is kind of a test to see how it actually runs. Currently, of course, I don't have the iron being routed to actually get smelted yet. Everything is just going up here, getting turned into clusters, and being thrown over here in storage. So we're getting, a decent amount of everything. I did just kind of throw everything else in here just to let it empty out the system. But yeah, I think this is working. It is occasionally processing the ordo down here, which is good. Let's see what this guy's doing. He's full. Metallum is not doing too bad. He's filling up still. So that is still increasing. Ordo, how are you doing? You are full now as well. So basically each of those over there is probably going to be an ore. And if it's an ore, then it's going to get some processing through here, which is going to take 5 out of this. So he's full, which means we're doing pretty well. This is filling up. Yeah, this is all working. Next up, we need to route our native clusters over to get processed into actual ingots. And I think we're just going to kind of do it the cheaty way of using the blood nodes that I've been using. I think that's kind of the easiest method. Like I kind of mentioned, between clips I'm up here in my astral sorcery area, and I've got a little bit of automation I want to show off. So you can see here I have my light wells. Underneath I have mechanical pumps from embers, and they just have a redstone signal, just a lever on the front, and these all pump into this nice big dark tank. The capacity on this is 720 buckets, and you can see there we are now at 8 buckets in here, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, adding up quite nicely. You see I have on top here is celestial crystals. So gems are all fine and good, aquamarine, but celestial gems are better. In fact, what's even better than that is attuned celestial gems. So I'm kind of using that at the moment. This here is just kind of a test. It's just kind of a random crystal that I had, size 369, purity 57, and 72 cutting, and it is attuned to Avitas, which, as you can see from this being lit up here, is currently in the sky. Could look up there, I guess, too. Out of this one crystal, I put him in, and I've done nothing else except I did attach a collector crystal to him. It speeds it up a little bit. We are currently sitting at 72 buckets from this one crystal, which is awesome. Like I said before, over here we're getting, if I put 10 crystals down, I tend to get about 13 back. And so that's 10 buckets, gets me 3 crystals. And each crystal is getting me, if I do this, somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 72, plus or minus, because that guy's still going. Yeah, that's awesome. This here, once I figured out that that's definitely profitable, I just threw a bunch of them in here, and this is going to be adding up. This is now going into an entangled chalice, which is just making my life slightly easier. Over here, I've got these guys growing. This one here is just hooked up to that, so I don't have to run back and forth. So I've got these guys here. I think one of these should be full size. There we go. A literal perfect crystal. 900, 100, and 100. Awesome. Gonna set him aside. So I've got one over here. I also have another attuned chalice over there. I currently don't really have a whole lot planned for these, other than I'm just kind of storing up my completed crystals. So up top here, these ones here are all my done crystals. I've got, these are all size 900 and cutting 100, and everything is fairly high purity. I have a couple that are around 75, and that is the lowest. And I think what I'm going to use is my cutoff. I had been using 75 as a cutoff, but I think I'm going to go with maybe 80? Maybe 85. Might do 85. Because I'm going to eventually run out of these guys, my kind of throwaway gems. But yeah, so that's just kind of a quick update of how the crystal breeding is going on. I'll continue to do this off camera, and every so often checking. Aha, you are perfect. Don't actually know which one you were. Don't know which one that was. Oh well, I'll figure it out. Same with you. That one got me too. Awesome. Neither of them are too special. They will both be thrown back for more breeding. Oh well. Anyway, back to the Thaumcraft. Over here on a Thaumcraft base, I'm trying to figure out, and I've been kind of debating back and forth on this. Do I want that whole thing to be standalone over at the refinery, or do I want it just integrated into the base? And I'm kind of at this point just leaning towards integrate it into the base. By which I mean, this is just going to be hooked up to my regular transport system of just my regular input and output nodes that are throughout the base. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that'll work. Yeah, so what this is going to be, this is an output node that I want here, you. And I actually want a hopper on this first. Hopper here, and I'm going to put the output node on the side of it. The reason for that is if I want, I can then later put another hopper underneath here, over here, so it'll go into the side of the open crate, and I can just have one routing node take care of both of them. And I think that'll work. So this here, I want, which direction is this? East? East, yeah, east. East, we want a node, or a filter here, and I don't actually have any things I want. Cool. So that's basically done. We're going to do the same thing, only just an input node, and we're just going to take everything. So this thing here, everything in here is going to go directly into my base. Hopefully the nuggets and everything will figure out where to go. And I think that's pretty much, that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll need to set up the actual linking, as well as remember which, if I want this to be on the input or the output path. There are two different networks, of course. And yeah, we're going to do the same thing over at the refinery. Okie dokie. So I have a couple routing nodes here, and this line here is the coming from base going to production. So that would go here. If I select you, that should start filling this thing up here with iron. 46, 44, 51. Awesome. So that is working. And not filling that. Okay, now kind of the moment of truth here of whether or not it'll properly fill my coal. If not, I don't really know what I'll do with this. So link to you. You have coal. Awesome. Coal's going in, iron's going in, everyone's happy. That's all processing. You are filled up with metallum like you should be. You will be filling up with ordo when you get there. Let me go ahead and link these guys. I need, this is return to base, so let's select him. I don't need anything down here, but I do need up here, which, come to think of it, I don't actually have a node on me. So let me go grab one node, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so last piece of the puzzle. I think I'm going to have to get rid of this nice little sphere here. Either that or I mess up the structure in the back there. So I'm not sure. In fact, we can just test it. If you're there, are you able to get to it? There. Pick him up and figure out where to put him. You can reach? Oh. Well, if you can reach, then perfect. That is linked up. This shall start taking everything from here, sending it back to base very slowly, as I have to filter through everything. And I think I've got one of each of the clusters, so let's go set up our outputs. Couple nodes up top there. We've got one already linked up to our output of our furnace here. It's nice and empty. Now let's go ahead and set him up. So we want east. I don't know why it always thinks there's Boots Traveler, but that's kind of a weird thing. We want Cinnabar to go in there. Are you going to start pumping anything out? Are you hooked up? You are hooked up. Okay. So let's try iron, because I'm pretty sure there's iron in the system. Anything? Iron. Awesome. Iron is getting created as well as being sent back, so that's perfect. At some point I'm probably going to want to go in and kind of paralyze this. In other words, set it up so that I can have like iron going to one and tin and everything else going to something else. Just because I do definitely want iron to be kind of prioritized here, being as everything kind of is based off of it. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here's 7 here. So that should be everything. So you're good. So if I just toss all of you in here, that's going to take all the gold and start smelting up some gold. Awesome. So yeah, that's all set up. It should be taking all these. It's going nice and quick actually too. Wasn't sure if it'd be able to take these as well as taking the ingots there, but that's working. And everything being in this chunk means that if I do get flux from this whole process, which I probably will, shouldn't be too much of an issue. So let me double check. Let me put this back on. Let me check how the flux is doing over at the refinery. I think in order to properly finish this whole thing off, we need one more thing, and that is a brain in a jar. We've got a jar here, we've got the brain, we've got the spider eyes. We're going to let that craft up, toss that up there next to our furnace. Let's see, how much are you left? You're almost done. Yeah, just the census, the exanimus, and then some the items. Yeah, so let's go ahead, get ready to grab that. 3, 2, 1. Got our brain going in, we got an eye going in, got the other eye, and some water to fill it up. And we have some warp, of course. Oh well, we have a brain in a jar. Now the reason for that is we're going to fly up here. You can see we've got lots of experience orbs just kind of sitting here. Place you there, and it appears that you have filled that up. If I punch you, shift right. Yeah, so right click. If I shift, will it grab everything? It's probably a nice way to grab everything, but this guy is storing that up, so it's no longer just going to go to waste sitting here. We've got kind of a... I might stick another one here actually as well. Yeah, so we've got experience now, so I don't need to worry about that as much. This guy here is... I think it's all done. We've got... Let's see. We've got the ores are being created. That's over there. Ores are being sent for refining. Refining is using iron, which it's getting from here. So that is then taking the refined stuff, turning it into native clusters. Native clusters are going here. This is turning everything back into ingots and sending it to storage. I think we have a working smelting system. Complete ore processing from start to finish, and a bit of experience on the side. Awesome. I think that's pretty much it for that project. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm happy with that. Anyway, thank you for watching. I think we're going to call this for an episode. It's a pretty good stopping point here since we've got that system finished. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.